Okay guys, welcome back again. You're here with the Dragon of Dragon Works. And if you've been following, you know this is the 1981 Honda CB900C. I rebuilt the top end of the motor and I've been breaking it in. I got it back together and she's ready to take some rides on it. That's the best way to break it in. But as you saw from the other videos, we've had ice and snow and everything else. Today, when I came in, the wind chill is 6 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's pretty nasty out there, and the roads are still, they got cinders and stuff on them. So the owner and I kind of thought, take our time. He's not going to come down this weekend and get it. I think he's got 6 or 8 inches of snow up there, and I think they keep getting pounded. So anyway, we're going to kind of hold off a little bit. And when I get an adequate day to get this thing out and ride it, because like I say, kind of continue on the break-in period, it's best to actually ride it once you do the idling. Take it on some curvy roads, up and down hills, that kind of thing. And that's the best way to get them broke in. It's going to take a while before the rings seat and so forth. So anyway, as you can see, it's a beautiful bike. And it's kind of dusty and a little bit dirty. I think when he loaded it up to bring it down, they were having a little mini blizzard. So anyway, it's, it needs to be detailed and whatnot. There's a little bit of dust on it, but I think you can see through that to see what's there. Still doing good. I'll just crank it up for a second because, like I say, there's not much sense to keep running it. And I'll talk about the carburetors a little bit. So yeah, the other thing was I noticed it was really wanting to run on choke, and that's kind of normal for a rebuild, but no, this thing was really wanting to run on choke. So I got with the customer and I said, hey, when's the last time, these carbs were rebuilt or cleaned? And also, have they ever been rejetted from the factory? Because almost every Honda comes lean from the factory, especially the pilot jets. The idle jet has to be increased. And he said, well, I don't know about the jetting, probably stock. And it's been since 2009 since the carburetors have been going through. So anyway, it's kind of running. It runs okay, but it's not running like it should. It should run much better. Sometimes I get a little popping here and there out of carb 2 and so forth. So for right now, we're just going to go ahead and break it in. And he's going to also, once I get it broke in and he picks it up, he'll ride it for several thousand miles. He'll deal with that situation. And then after a couple thousand, we're going to go ahead and, recheck the valves. And I also like to retorque the heads. Of course, on these bikes, the studs go all the way through the jugs and the heads and, cylinders and head. And so you're kind of tightening up the base gasket, head gasket, everything. It's always a good idea just to recheck them, after you build them, because of shrinkage and whatnot. They get cold and warm. So they expand and contract and sometimes can become loose. So anyway, after a couple thousand, readjust the valves, retorque everything, and at that time, then we'll address the carburetors, because at that time, then you can really tune the bike. Right now, during break-in, there's not a lot of sense of retuning it. Just get it good enough to ride. Actually, I like them running a little rich, as I mentioned before, during break-in, so you don't lean out a brand new rebuild. It helps with the pistons not melting down, and it also helps the rings and everything to break in. So anyway, it's just a little bit of rambling going on here. I think you guys get it. This is just the process. And nothing is for certain when you rebuild something. You can be the best machinist, best engine builder in the world, and when you're putting new parts and old stuff and using, combination of things like that, anything can go wrong. So there's still a period of anxiety and testing and so forth to go through, and that's kind of where we're at. So, all right, guys, I'm going to leave you there. 1981 Honda CB900, and so far so good. Everything's going as planned, except for the weather's not cooperating for a good. I need to be able to ride this thing for several hours, 5 hours or something. Up and down hills, around turns, on and off the throttle and stuff like that. Right now, the conditions just aren't allowing it. Thanks for following along. Thanks for watching the video. If you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. You can still like it on Facebook. All right, Dragon says thanks for watching. Peace out.